USC really values an interdisciplinary education, and that was crucial in my decision-making when I chose what school I wanted to attend. And I feel like opportunities to explore different disciplines are sort of unparalleled, and I'm grateful that I was able to attend USC.
They say, go out into the university, use these resources within this massive research institution and kind of change the world.
You're treated like a professional in every classroom that you're in with your peers. You are treated as if you are doing things at the highest level, and that is what you are doing here.
Every single professor and TA and tutor that I've had has been so invested in my success. The faculty here is what makes this school so incredible, and it's what has made my experience and my education wonderful. I have done so many things that I would have never imagined possible just because I'm here in LA and because USC wants to connect you to these amazing events.
I felt like I truly belonged at USC through the people, in complete honesty. Meeting people who are like me and who have similar career aspirations made me feel part of USC and that I belonged.
The Trojan family is so real and it is incredible, and it goes beyond just USC. Here, like currently, it goes to alumni and to the future.
USC does a really good job of integrating that Trojan network from the very beginning. So at the orientation events and things like that, they already have alums there for freshmen. So you're already building your network throughout your whole USC experience. I knew that if I somehow needed a job graduating, like I would have someone to lean on. And I'm just glad that that was something that was built in from the beginning, and it's not something that I'm like seeking out now as I'm about to graduate.
USC is really helpful for kind of helping you figure out what you want to do specifically in your field.
If you take it seriously and if you put in the work and you put in the hours necessary to be successful, success is bound to happen. There's a reason why they have such a large alumni that is extremely successful.
Being surrounded by other like-minded, driven, ambitious individuals, I think it also pushes you to perform at your best level. And it's not competitive, it's collaborative. Fight on.
Fight on.
Fight on.
Fight on.
Fight on.
Fight on. Fight on.
USC really values an interdisciplinary education, and that was crucial in my decision making when I chose what school I wanted to attend. And I feel like opportunities to explore different disciplines are sort of unparalleled, and I'm grateful that I was able to attend USC.
They tell you, they say, go out into the university, use these resources within this massive research institution and kind of change the world.
You're treated like a professional in every classroom that you're in with your peers. You are treated as if you are doing things at the highest level, and that is what you are doing here.
Every single professor and TA and tutor that I've had has been so invested in my success. The faculty here is what makes this school so incredible, and it's what has made my experience and my education wonderful. I have done so many things that I would have never imagined possible just because I'm here in LA and because USC wants to connect you to these amazing events.
I felt like I truly belonged at USC through the people, in complete honesty. Meeting people who are like me and who have similar career aspirations made me feel part of USC and that I belonged.
The Trojan family is so real and it is incredible, and it goes beyond just USC. Here, like currently, it goes to alumni and to the future.
USC does a really good job of integrating that Trojan network from the very beginning. So at the orientation events and things like that, they already have alums there for freshmen. So you're already building your network throughout your whole USC experience. I knew that if I somehow needed a job graduating, like I would have someone to lean on. And I'm just glad that that was something that was built in from the beginning, and it's not something that I'm like seeking out now as I'm about to graduate.
USC is really helpful for kind of helping you figure out what you want to do specifically in your field.
If you take it seriously and if you put in the work and you put in the hours necessary to be successful, success is bound to happen. There's a reason why they have such a large alumni that is extremely successful.
Being surrounded by other like-minded, driven, ambitious individuals, I think it also pushes you to perform at your best level. And it's not competitive, it's collaborative. Fight on.
Fight on.
Fight on!
Fight on.
Fight on.
Fight on. Fight on.
Welcome again, everyone, to the 2026 Science Olympiad National Tournament. Our opening ceremony will begin in about 5 minutes. Please find your way to your seats and prepare for the opening ceremony. Thank you everyone for your patience. We'll be starting the Parade of States and our opening ceremony in about 5 minutes. We do still have some teams coming in, but we will begin in about 1 minute. We'll begin in about 1 minute. Thank you everyone for your patience. I'd like to officially welcome you to the 2026 Science Olympiad National Tournament opening ceremony. We begin tonight with the Parade of States. Science is rarely the work of one person working alone. Breakthroughs happen when people share ideas, challenge assumptions, and build on each other's discoveries. Tonight, as each state enters, we celebrate not only their teams, but also a scientific achievement connected to their state, reminding us that innovation grows through collaboration. Let's welcome the teams. We are kicking off the Parade of States with the state that's home to Rocket City. From Alabama, please welcome Alabama School of Fine Arts and James Clemens High School. All the way from Alaska, where teams of fishermen catch 5 to 6 billion pounds of fish per year. Welcome, Discovery Peak Charter School. Pluto was discovered at an observatory in this state. Representing Arizona, it's Basis Chandler in both Divisions B and C. In Arkansas, where agricultural scientists collaborate to improve rice production and sustainable farming techniques, we have Lisa West Middle School and Bentonville West High School. Joining us from the state where the National Center for Atmospheric Research is headquartered. From Colorado, welcome Preston Middle School and Homeschool Science Colorado. Our first East Coast teams are from the state where chemotherapy was discovered. Joining us from Connecticut, we have Fairfield County Homeschoolers and South Windsor High School. From Delaware, well, nylon was invented. It's Henry B. DuPont Middle School and Charter School of Wilmington. Representing our nation's capital, where teams sent the first telegraph, please welcome Basis DC for Divisions B and Division C. From Florida, the home of the Kennedy Space Center, used by countless spaceflight missions, including Artemis II. We have Archimedean Middle Conservatory and Orlando Science School. And in Division C, there's Boca Raton Community High School and the Fraser School. Just next door in Georgia, where the caffeine and Coca-Cola products have powered countless teams, it's Fulton Science Academy and Piney Grove Middle School in Division B. And also from Georgia, we have Walton High School. And joining them in Division C is Chattahoochee High School. Joining us from the state where farmers work together to harvest millions of macadamia nuts each year, from Hawaii, we have Highlands Intermediate School. Also from Hawaii, we have Iolani School. From Idaho, where scientists at the Idaho National Laboratory collaborate on cutting-edge research in nuclear energy and national security, welcome St. Joseph's Catholic School. Turning to the state, where teams of architects built the first skyscraper, introducing our Illinois teams. First, Daniel Wright Junior High School. Also from Illinois, we have the Marie Murphy School. Next is New Trier High School. And last from Illinois, we have the Adley E. Stephen High School. And coming to us from the state that football's team won its first college football championship earlier this year, from Indiana, welcome the Stanley Clark School. And also welcoming from Indiana, Carmel High School. Representing Iowa, where researchers created the lead-free solder, it's Mount Vernon Middle School. And following them from Iowa is Cedar Falls High School. Over in Kansas, where scientists first identified and discovered helium, welcome Pleasant Ridge Middle School. Also in Division B, Lakewood Middle School. And in Division C is Blue Valley West High School. From Kentucky, where researchers collaborate to study biomedical science and public health, improving lives across the nation, Mazik Middle School. And along with them, DuPont Manual High School are putting their skills to the test. Traveling south to the state where the binocular microscope was invented, the Louisiana team is joining us are Glasgow Middle School. And Baton Rouge Magnet High School also joins us from Louisiana. Our team from Maine, where lobstermen catch over 100 million pounds of lobster each year, is Deering High School. Joining us from the state that was the site of America's first ice cream factory, welcome Mount View Middle School. And also joining us from Maryland is Centennial High School. And from the state that created spreadsheets, which countless teams have used to organize their projects, from Massachusetts, it's William Diamond Middle School. And also joining us from Massachusetts is Acton-Boxborough Regional High School. Journeying to the state, where Henry Ford and his team created the Model T, from Michigan, we have Slauson Middle School. Next is East Middle School. Following them is Ann Arbor Pioneer High School. And lastly from Michigan is Novi High School. Doctors use the first CAT scan in North America in this state. From Minnesota, it's Chippewa Middle School. And also from Minnesota is Mounds View High School. From the state where the first lung transplant was performed, from Mississippi, welcome Northwest Rankin High School in Division C. In Missouri, where scientists in St. Louis collaborate on advances in medicine and genetics, we have Ladue Middle School. Joining them in Division B is the Pembroke Hill School. And in Division C, also from Missouri, there's Ladue Horton Watkins High School. From the state where scientists collaborate to study ecology, wildlife, and environmental science in the Rocky Mountains, Corvallis Middle School. Also joining us from Montana is Hamilton High School. From Nebraska, where agricultural researchers collaborate to advance food science and sustainable farming, welcome Brownell Talbot College Preparatory School. And also please welcome Lincoln East High School. Turning to the state where the team of Davison Strauss joins forces to develop blue jeans, Nevada is represented by Davidson Academy and Advanced Technologies Academy. from New Hampshire, the state where the alarm clock was invented, it's Phillips Exeter Academy. Our New Jersey teams represent the state where researchers confirmed the Big Bang Theory. Welcome to the tournament, Tennekill Middle School. And joining them is Montgomery High School, also from New Jersey. The Los Alamos Laboratory, depicted in the film Oppenheimer, is located in this state. Our New Mexico teams are Albuquerque Academy. And Socorro High School. Traveling across the country, engineers from this state developed FM radio with the call from New York. Welcome Seven Bridges Middle School. Next is the Bay Academy. We also have Stuyvesant High School. And lastly, from New York, Great Neck South High School. Over in the state where the Wright brothers teamed up for the first flight, we have J.M. Robinson Middle School. Also joining us from North Carolina, we have Alston Ridge Middle School in Division B as well. And in Division C, we have William G. Enlow Magnet High School. And the North Carolina School of Science and Math, Durham, also representing North Carolina. North Dakota is a state where researchers collaborate to improve renewable energy technologies and agricultural science. Welcome, Ben Franklin Middle School. And joining them from North Dakota, Davies High School. Joining us from the state where the Heimlich maneuver was first developed, Siouxland Middle School. Joining them in Division B is Mason Middle School. And their counterpart, Mason High School. And the other counterparts, Solon High School, are our Ohio teams. Coming to us from the home of Next Generation Radar from Oklahoma, it's Cassidy School in Divisions B and C. From Oregon, where engineers collaborated to create breakthroughs in semiconductor technology and advanced manufacturing, we have Stoller Middle School. Also joining us is Sunset High School. Flying back across the country to Pennsylvania, where the country's first university robotics department was founded, we have Springhouse Middle School. Also joining them from Pennsylvania, Eagle View Middle School. We also have Harriton High School. And lastly, from Pennsylvania is Cumberland Valley High School. Home to America's first diner, the site of many teams meeting since. From Rhode Island, we have North Cumberland Middle School. And Barrington High School. The teams from the state that gave us the submarine are Clinton Middle School. And their counterpart, Clinton High School, both from South Carolina. Competing from South Dakota, where teams of paleontologists found the world's most complete T-Rex fossil, we have Yankton Middle School. And their counterpart, Yankton High School. In the state where scientists made critical contributions to discover the element of tennessine, we have Cedar Springs Home School. And also from Tennessee, we have White Station High School. Coming to the tournament from Texas, where the handheld calculator was invented, it's Basis Cedar Park. We also have Seven Lakes Junior High. And their counterpart, Seven Lakes High School. And our last competitors from the Lone Star State, Jordan High School. Joining us from Utah, where teams of doctors perform the first artificial heart transplant. Welcome West High ELP. And the West High School. The mathematicians featured in the film Hidden Figures worked at a NASA laboratory in this state. Joining us from Virginia, our Longfellow Middle School. Cooper Middle School. And Thomas Jefferson High School for Science and Technology. From the state of Washington, where orchardists collaborate to produce more than half of the nation's apples, we have Evergreen Middle School. Sky Ridge Middle School. And Tesla STEM High School, also from Washington. In the state where scientists collaborate to study energy technologies and Appalachian ecosystems, Morgantown High School represents West Virginia. Turning to the state that's home to the country's only center for dairy research, from Wisconsin, welcome Velma Hamilton Middle School. Madison West High School. And Marquette University High School. Over in Wyoming, where teams of geologists study Yellowstone's caldera, please give a big round of applause for CY Middle School. and Kelly Walsh High School. We're thrilled to give a big shout out to our host state teams from California, where the element Californium was discovered, and countless students, alumni, volunteers, and university officials have worked together to plan this weekend's events. Please welcome Sierra Vista Middle School. Kennedy Middle School in Division B. Troy High School. And Monte Vista High School in Division C. And let's welcome our final team of the evening, our global ambassador team from Japan. Please welcome Okayama Prefectural Okayama Asahi Senior High School. And that concludes our parade of states. Let's give a big hand for our participants. And now I ask that you please rise if you are able as we honor America with the singing of our national anthem, performed tonight by Daniel Voigt, a USC alum.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you. Now please welcome to the stage Dan Nichols, Executive Director of Science Olympiad.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the 42nd National Science Olympiad Tournament here at the beautiful University of Southern California. I want to start off tonight by thanking everyone here at the University of Southern California that helped make this tournament possible. It truly is an amazing experience. To our students, coaches, families, alumni, volunteers, and supporters from across the country and Japan, thank you for being here for this extraordinary celebration of science, teamwork, perseverance, and discovery. Tonight is about much more than competition. It's about the journey that brought you each to this tournament. Long before you arrived here in LA, before your flight, before the buses, before the STEM Expo, before the delay we had here at the opening ceremony, and the excitement of nationals, there were countless unseen moments that led you here. There were early mornings and late nights after practice. There were weekends spent building, testing, studying, and then rebuilding and trying it all again. There were binders that you filled with notes, boomlevers that collapsed, codes that refused to run, and experiments that failed right before your eyes. There were moments when things did not go the way you hoped, tests that you felt unprepared for, invitational tournaments that humbled you, builds that broke at the worst possible moment, days before the frustration built and it outweighed your confidence. But you kept going. That's what makes this tournament special. Science Olympiad has never been about medals or rankings or placements. It's about learning how to persist when the answer is not obvious. It's about trusting your teammates when the pressure is high. And it's about discovering that growth often comes from the moments that challenge us the most. And along the way, there was joy. The joy of finally solving a problem that seemed impossible, one of those codes for Codebusters. The joy of seeing a device work exactly the way you designed it. I'm talking to you, Mission Possible people. The joy of hearing your team called for the awards for that first time this year. The joy of realizing that you're part of something bigger than yourself. Every team here today has a story. Some of you traveled thousands of miles to get here. Some of you are returning veterans to the national tournament. And others, welcome, are experiencing it for the first time. All of you share something in common, though. You earned your place here through hard work, determination, and teamwork. Tonight, you represent the very best of what Science Olympiad stands for. In a world that feels divided, this tournament reminds us what collaboration can accomplish. Students from every background, every state, every community have come together because of a shared curiosity about how the world works and a shared belief that knowledge matters. Over the course of the tournament, you're going to compete fiercely. You're going to challenge yourselves, and you will celebrate victories and overcome setbacks. But years from now, many of you will not remember every score, and you won't remember every placement. You will remember the people beside you. You'll remember your teammates who encouraged you when you were nervous. That's none of you guys, right? You're not nervous at all. The coaches who stayed late to help you prepare. The parents who supported you every step of the way. And the friendships that you formed in the lab, in the testing rooms, and the team meetings. Those are the moments that last. I guess it's time for me to be quiet. The bell's ringing. To our coaches and parents. To our coaches, parents, and mentors, thank you for investing your time, energy, and belief into these students. Your guidance has helped shape not only future scientists and engineers, but future leaders, problem solvers, and innovators. And one more thing for you students. Take a moment tonight to appreciate what you've already accomplished. Reaching the national tournament is not something that happens by accident. It's the result of discipline, resilience, and an incredible amount of effort. You belong here. As we begin the 42nd tournament, I encourage each of you to embrace every moment of the experience. Compete with integrity, support one another, help each other out, learn from every challenge, and celebrate every success. And most importantly, remember how far you've come. Because this journey, the struggles, the setbacks, the breakthroughs, the teamwork, the joy, is already an incredible achievement. Welcome to the tournament.
And now, please welcome to the stage Dr. Yanis Yortsos, Dean of the USC Viterbi School of Engineering.
Before we hear from Dean Yortsos, I'd like to take this moment to present him and the University of Southern California a plaque commemorating the partnership from Science Olympiad and the university that made this tournament happen. So Dean Yortsos, thank you for everything you've done leading to this.
Thank you very much. Well, thanks very much. Good evening to our very talented students from all over the US, their parents, teachers, and supporters, as well as our team from Japan. On behalf of the University of Southern California, I'm extending a very warm welcome to all of you. 2 years from now, in this very venue, the Galen Center, we will host the Olympics Los Angeles 28 competition on badminton and rhythmic gymnastics. Tonight we have a different rhythm. But this weekend, USC hosts a different Olympiad, that of the mind and of the spirit, with STEM as its arena of competition. A week ago, at this very same exact location, we held the graduation ceremony for the USC Viterbi School of Engineering, class of 2026. Which I'm very proud to say was 42% women. Looking a few years ahead, I hope many of you will also be standing in this very same area as USC STEM graduates, whether in engineering, physical and health sciences, or other STEM disciplines. Being myself the parent of 2 engineering graduates, I'd like to welcome all parents, families, and friends in this room whose love, patience, and commitment helped produce this remarkable class of students. You are the reason this day is possible. Thank you for being here. we live in extraordinary times. All of you students started your education in the middle of a pandemic. We're immersed in significant social changes, and more recently, through the most consequential technological shift in a generation, the rise of artificial intelligence. It is what it is. But your presence today shows that you have triumphed in many ways. No matter what your discipline will end up being and where you will go, you will work to solve problems for the benefit of humanity. But the world needs not only problem solvers, it needs trustworthy problem solvers, those who combine competence with character. A trustworthy scientist and engineer is the world's most powerful force for good. We will count on you to provide this powerful combination. British quantum physicist David Deutsch has said, "There will always be problems, but all problems are solvable." I cannot agree more. There will always be problems in energy, materials, climate, cybersecurity, many others. But when these problems arise, the world will turn to talented students and future STEM professionals like you to provide solutions with a human-centric mindset. You will be working, yes. You will work on advancing solutions in one or more of the following buckets. Sustainable prosperity, I believe, is a better description of the word sustainability. Health, security, and enriching life through advancing education, scientific discovery, advancing democracy, and ensuring a better life for everyone. The rigorous selection process you undertook to get here, through a combination of all the education you embody, demonstrates you are the model for all STEM students and for future graduates in the world. Congratulations for all that. Years ago, I urged our engineering class at USC to hug the exponential, meaning to follow Moore's law of very fast changes. And this we did. We're now somewhere more demanding because we're dealing with AI. We're entering a new phase of very fast changes in computation. We need to embrace it with a strong human-centric mindset to help advance all of this technology for the benefit of humanity. This is an extraordinary privilege and extraordinary responsibility. I'll show you 2 slides to illustrate my points. Let's see if I can manage this well. I first show you my equation. So this is not the typical equation in algebra. It takes a triangle, adds a hyperbola, and gives a double helix. That doesn't happen very often. What is a triangle? The triangle is the place where we will constantly work in the future regardless of how long we live. It involves sustainable prosperity, it involves security, health, and enriching life. I call this the Maslow hierarchy for humanity. People call it a pyramid, but we all know that this is a triangle. This is not a pyramid. That is the revenge of the nerds, to which we add a singularity curve, which is like how AI is going. And what you get out of this is a double helix. What is a double helix? It's two strands of technology and humanity. It's our goal to make sure humanity overcomes technology to have the so-called human in the loop, which I put over here. And then we need our students to not only have outstanding competence like you do, but also outstanding character. Competence and character provides trustworthiness, and that is what we really need to have in our future engineers, and I'm almost certain it will be for you as well. Now, this was not always a key emphasis of technology. When I first started my career, I recall that engineering, I'm an engineer, chemical engineer, by the way, was about three general areas: energy, materials, and information. My area of work was in the energy area, so I said, fantastic, I'm in a great area, energy, materials, and information. How extraordinary then it is that today AI is an extraordinary manifestation of all these three things. Information in terms of data, materials instead of chips and physical AI, and energy in terms of data centers and the like. What you notice there is I have taken the initials of information, materials, and energy. However, what is new today is what I mentioned before. We need to also have purpose and character in addition to competence to lead to trustworthiness. And as you can see, I highlighted the first letter T. So those of you who are paying a lot of attention, you will realize that I lead to the following double entendre by taking the initials of T, I, M, and E, and the answer is engineering, it's about time. In cheering squads will be, give me a T, give me an I, give me an M, give me an E. What does it spell? In about 2 months, Christopher Nolan, who directed Oppenheimer and The Dark Knight, releases his new film called The Odyssey. Now, why I should be very careful about bringing in Odysseus in a university of Trojans, I should mention that in Homer's Odyssey, there's a key figure who defines destination and home, and that is Penelope. While Odysseus was away, she held everything together. She waited, she worked, she refused to give up. Without Penelope, there is no homecoming. And in this context, I must remind you that the most important people in your life today are your Penelopes. Your parents, your families, your loved ones, your friends. They were there before all of this happened. They will be here when this is ending. So today, on a day that is rightly about you, I want to ask you to rise and join me in applause of your families and friends who are here today. Those who have. You can get seated. In 7 weeks, this country turns 250 years old. America at 250 is its own long odyssey, an unfinished journey towards ideals that this generation, like yours, must re-earn. You will be the most important part of this story. The problems you will solve in a human-centric, skillful, and ingenious way will be what makes this nation come close to the founding ideals. We will count on you, and we're certain that you will make us proud. So congratulations, Science Olympiad contestants. Good luck on tomorrow's competition, much of which will take place at Ginsburg Hall, home of our new School of Computing and AI. Welcome to USC, and as we say here on campus, fight on.
And now, please welcome Jenny Kopak, CEO of Science Olympiad and President and CEO of the Science Olympiad USA Foundation.
Hey, everybody! Hey, guys, how's it going? All right, let's get some energy. Okay, you know what? I think we need to do a selfie. Come on, let's do a crowd selfie here. Let's go on the gram. Okay, let's go. All right, we're gonna do a video. All right. That'll be posted right after this. So thank you, guys. Tonight I have the great pleasure of introducing your keynote speaker, James Bullock, Dean of the USC Dornsife College of Letters, Arts, and Sciences. Dr. Bullock is a distinguished astrophysicist whose research focuses on the formation of galaxies, dark matter, and the large-scale structure of the universe. His work has helped scientists better understand how galaxies like our own Milky Way came to be, and how the universe continues to evolve. Before joining USC, Dr. Bullock built an impressive career as a researcher and educator, publishing widely in leading scientific journals and earning recognition for both his scientific contributions and his commitment to advancing education. As Dean of USC Dornsife, he now leads one of the nation's premier schools of arts and sciences, supporting innovation across disciplines and helping shape the next generation of thinkers and leaders, just like you guys. Science Olympiad family, let's give Dr. Bullock a big, warm welcome. James?
Okay, how are we doing? How are we doing, everybody? Woo! Okay, so listen, I am so happy to be here. Again, welcome to USC. It's so great that I got to follow Dean Yorksos. So together, Dean Yorksos and I are the deans of engineering, and I'm the dean of college letters, arts, and sciences. So we've got science, math, and engineering. We got it covered. We're so happy to have you here. I am going to talk to you about something which is one of my favorite things in the universe, which is the James Webb Space Telescope. Oh, this is good. Okay, and this is why I think it's so cool, because you see the title here, it's the science and engineering marvel that is the James Webb Space Telescope. It brings together what I think is perhaps the greatest engineering marvel of our generation. I think it rivals the Great Pyramids. I think it rivals the Panama Canal. It really is a civilization-defining achievement, what we've done with this telescope. So I want to talk to you about that, and I want to talk to you about the crazy, incredible science that it's revealing all the time. I'm also very excited to show you a lot of really cool pictures, like this one. Before I even give my talk and talk to you all about exactly how this telescope happened, I want to lead with a picture. This is my favorite picture from the James Webb Space Telescope. This is an image on a tiny little spot of the sky. So imagine you take a grain of sand and you hold it at the length of your arm, and you imagine how much of the sky that covers. That's the size of this image on the sky. It's a completely dark region of the sky, but when you look deep enough with a big enough, most powerful telescope, you receive an image like that. You're seeing so much here, I'm going to give you just a glimpse of it. The big white balls of stuff that you see kind of in the middle here, like right in the middle, that's a massive galaxy cluster. That galaxy cluster is 4.6 billion light years away, with a B. And one of the cooler things about this image is, do you see these little arcs? Can you see the arcs of red that are kind of around the middle? Clap if you can see little arcs. Anybody know what that is? Gravitational lensing. Very good, very good. So that is, these are distant galaxies that are even farther away than that. Their light is shining past this really massive cluster, and through gravity, general relativity allows us to understand what's going on. The light is bent like a lens into these funky shapes. And from the shapes, we're able to extract things like how much mass is between us and that galaxy. And this is one of the reasons why we know something called dark matter exists, because of this kind of really cool curves. So it's a really cool looking picture, and there's a lot of science in this picture. I'm gonna ask you some questions. Who has heard of the Hubble Space Telescope? Make some noise. Don't raise your hand. Make noise. Good. Oh, yeah, okay. There we go. Who's heard of the Webb? I think we have. Let's go. Make some noise. Okay, that's not loud enough. Who's heard of the Webb, the James Webb Space Telescope? Okay. So if you compare these two, Hubble was a telescope that was launched when I was about your age. And wow, I know, it's like an antique. And it's up there, it's still up there, but it's much, much smaller than Webb, and it's a different kind of telescope than Webb. So this compares the two. On the y-axis here, it's kind of how much light gathering power a telescope has. That's kind of how big of a light bucket it has. That's a measure of how powerful it is. And then on the other axis is the wavelength. So what's going on with Webb is it's much, much bigger. In fact, it's 6.5 meters in diameter. And if you look closely at this picture, there's little images of people. That's how big a person is compared to Webb. And so its light gathering power is tremendous, and it's also looking at light in the infrared. So it's really this kind of incredibly large and powerful telescope that's out there. Where is it? Anybody know where it is? You can shout it out. L2, I love it. I love this audience. Wow, I tell you what, this is good. You guys should all apply to USC. Great. That's right, it's at L2. So this telescope, which was launched about 5 years ago now, 5.5 years ago now, took about 6 months to get out to L2. L2 is a special orbit. It's called a Lagrange point 2, and it's a place where the gravity from the Earth plus the sun tugs on it just a little bit extra, and this is a place where it's orbiting in line with the Earth. Another thing you can see in this movie, oh, I think I gotta make it go again. Did the movie stop? Let's try it again. Oh, there we go. So you can see in this movie, another thing is, this thing has a big, what's called sun shield. And so the telescope is faced away from the sun. The sun shield blocks the sun, and it keeps the telescope cold. And in fact, on one side of the sun shield, it's 185 degrees Fahrenheit. It's very hot. But on the other side of the sun shield, it's about 50 degrees Kelvin. So it's hundreds of degrees difference in the temperature from one side to the other, and it's totally passive. It's just the engineering of the shield that blocks it. So there's all kinds of incredible engineering going on. Not only did we put this telescope precisely at L2, but it's folded out into this incredibly large gold-coated mirror, and it's out there doing tremendous science. Now, given how cool this thing is, how tremendously incredible the engineering was, it took 20 years to build, almost flawless execution. Does anyone know where it was built? Let me ask you a question. Is there anybody here from Texas? Let me ask one more time. Is there anybody here from Texas? Okay. Is there anybody here from North Carolina? Huh. Is there anybody here from Georgia? Okay. Is there anybody here from California? Okay. I could keep doing this, but they're going to kick me off the stage. So I'll just tell you, every state in the United States contributed to building this telescope over 20 years. Let's go. That's cool. But there is a special thing about where we are now, because the prime contractor, the final institution that put this thing together and tested it, was Northrop Grumman here in Redondo Beach, California, not very far from here. I got to even visit this thing before it launched. I snuck in there. They didn't catch me. I didn't break anything. And then it was launched December 25th, 2021, into this incredible thing. Now, we spent all this time building this incredible telescope. Why did we build it? Anybody know why we built it? To look really far. That's good. That's a clean answer. I like that answer, to look really far. It's pretty complicated. So let me tell you a story of why. One reason is we want to understand how we got here. And I mean this in the broadest, most fundamental sense. We have a model of the universe right now that we think we understand quite well. When space and time itself, as we understand it, began 13.8 billion years ago in an event that we call the Big Bang. We call it the Big Bang because we don't have a better name for it. It didn't make a sound. It wasn't that big, but it was this event. And the universe has been expanding and cooling since that time. In the beginning, it actually started off with almost nothing but hydrogen and helium. And incredibly hot, almost perfectly smooth. There was no structure in it. But over time, structure formed. And we know that this has happened. Now we have galaxies and tremendous structure everywhere. And in one of these galaxies, at least one, there was one planet, at least one of the 100 billion or so we know of in the galaxy, that had enough liquid water and the right conditions that we're still trying to understand to end up with complex atoms. The thing I should say, of course, is that although we started out with hydrogen and helium, it's stars that fuse the heavier elements together. And along the way, in the hearts of stars, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, phosphorus, other important elements that make up our DNA. And now we have these things, these people, these entities on this planet that can now look back up at the stars and try to answer these questions. And in that sense, we are the universe understanding itself. And I should say that's a tremendous responsibility. So keep trying to understand. The other thing is, we understand this, but there's a lot of stuff we still do not understand. So for example, we really don't understand what the universe is made of at all. About 25% of the mass energy density of the universe is in the form of something called dark matter, which has gravity, but we don't know what it is. And 70% is in the form of something called dark energy, which is driving the universe to accelerate in its expansion. The most profound, whoa, this is where I think we're starting to understand what the dark matter is. Yeah, there we go. Okay, we got it figured out. But only 5% of the universe is anything in the periodic table. Whole periodic table, just 5% of the universe. So we have a lot to understand. And this is why we built machines like this and try to understand what's going on. So I can't stand up here all night. I could show you pictures all night and talk about them, but what we're gonna do instead is we're gonna play a game. You're gonna get to pick which image you wanna talk about. So there's two really cool images here. One is the pillars of creation, and the other is called Phantom Galaxy. It's a galaxy that we call the Phantom Galaxy. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna see which one gets the most noise. So who wants me to talk about the pillars of creation? All right, okay. All right, Phantom Galaxy, you got your work cut out for you. Who wants to hear about the Phantom Galaxy? Hold on a second. I gotta ask Dean Yorksos who won. Who won? All right. Okay, the judges say Phantom Galaxy. All right. I'll just say there's really cool stars forming here in this one. Oh, wait, I skipped. There we go. Okay, there's the Phantom Galaxy. Okay, this galaxy, this is an incredible picture for lots of different reasons. This thing is 32 million light years away, and it's about the same size as our home galaxy. It's about 100,000 light years across. This thing is about, like I said, about the size of the Milky Way. And the coolest, I mean, this thing is just beautiful, but one of the most astounding things about this from an astrophysicist point of view, people who try to understand gravity, or understand galaxies, is you see this kind of bubbly structure. It almost looks like there's bubbles throughout these spiral arms. Those are bubbles that are blown by supernova blowing off. So a heavy star ends its life, explodes, and then blows out gas all around it and actually makes these pockets. And by seeing how many pockets, how many open spots there are, that's telling you how often stars are exploding in this galaxy. Another thing that's incredibly cool is the very middle, which is blue. This blue empty region is fascinating, and there's a lot of extremely young stars. So there's a lot of stars forming like crazy in the middle of this galaxy. So these are the kind of things that just from looking at the image, you can understand the physics of what's happening as we try to understand how galaxies like this emerge. To give you a sense of how big this thing is, if you took a galaxy like this and shrunk it down to the size of the Pacific Ocean, the size of a star in that galaxy would be the size of a piece of pollen on a maple leaf in the ocean. And the nearest solar system would be about a mile away on another leaf with its own solar system. So that's how large this galaxies like this are, and it contains billions and billions of stars. So the last thing I want to end with, I'll have time to show one more picture, and it's talking about what we're really doing with Webb to kind of push the frontier of discovery. This is an image of about the same size, a couple of grains of sand lined up in the night sky, incredibly dark, and it's a deep image. So it's a place where this telescope is pointed at one spot effectively for weeks. And then effectively like opening the camera shutter and just collecting light. It's been collecting light for weeks in this giant telescope pointing at this region of the sky. And this is a particularly special region because in this region, in this picture, is the most distant galaxy yet detected. This is it. So this galaxy is called MOM Z14. The astronomer named it, you guess it, after his mom. This thing existed when the universe was only 280 million years old. So the universe is 13.8 billion years old. This thing existed when the universe was 280 million years old, and it is currently about 34 billion light years away. The reason why it's 34 billion light years away, which is older than the age of the universe, 13.8 billion, is because the universe has been expanding since the light left it. So that's why it's 34 billion light years away. And one of the astounding things about this galaxy is, first of all, it's very small. It's about, it's about 100 times less massive than the Milky Way itself. But more profoundly, we're looking at this object, as it were, of course, before the Earth existed. This was way before the Earth existed. But more than that, we're seeing this galaxy as it was before the carbon atoms in your DNA existed. So the atoms that build the scaffolding of life did not exist when this galaxy was glowing as we're taking this picture. We are looking way, way back in time. And we can learn things about, we actually see elements forming. We can see it from the spectra of this galaxy, that we can see elements being made in this system. These are some pretty profound things, right? And in fact, a universe that is this old, this large, and this profound can sometimes make people feel small. Do any of you feel small, maybe? It's good. I like the quiet, not cheering. If you feel that way, I want to remind you of something. You're a member of the species that figured this out. And we have a lot more figuring out to do, and that's your job. And whether it's about the makeup of the cosmos, the origin of the universe, quantum computing, new kinds of materials, building next generation technology that improves lives and saves lives, whatever it is, keep doing it. You represent the best of us, and the best of our future. Keep going. And with that, let me just say thank you and fight on.
And now, please welcome back to the stage Dan Nichols, Executive Director of Science Olympiad.
So I get to invite you guys to watch a special message that Science Olympiad received from one of our alumni. I don't know, how many people here have watched a YouTube video before? If your hand's not up, I think you're not telling the truth. So YouTube, we have YouTube sensation. You probably have seen one of his videos. Smarter Every Day, have you heard of it? Destin Sandlin has a special message for you. So take it away.
Hey, it's me, Destin. I have a YouTube channel called Smarter Every Day, and I want to take a minute to say hello and welcome to Science Olympiad. This is a really big deal, and it was huge in my life. When I was in high school, my buddy Steve-O and I, we teamed up and we competed in all kinds of events in Science Olympiad. We had this thing called the Mission Possible. It was like a bunch of little machines that would add up to do a task. We had a bottle rocket competition. We did this egg drop thing. There were so many things in my Science Olympiad life that changed my whole outlook on a career. In fact, I did not know what the word engineer meant until I was working on the bottle rocket competition for Science Olympiad. I went next door, talked to my neighbor. He said, Destin, you might be what's called an engineer when you grow up. I was like, what's an engineer? And he explained it to me, and we went on to win the state bottle rocket competition, and I went on to get a master's degree in rocket propulsion. So it's really, really cool. The things you do today matter. They're going to have a long-term effect on your career. And there's two things in particular that I think get overlooked that you need to think about. I'm sitting here looking through the rules here. The first thing is teamwork. When you go out and you compete with everybody else on your team, you're going to do your very, very best, and they're going to do their very, very best. But the fact that you're working with other people is important. You need to be a good teammate, because if you just go out there and you get on to people because they're not doing good, or maybe they don't know the same equations you know, or whatever, if you're just kind of a jerk to hang out with, nobody's going to want to be on your team. So you need to be a good teammate. That's very important when you're collaborating with other scientists. It's a really big deal. Another thing that I want to point out is I was looking through the rules here, and I was over here on page, what is this? Page, I don't know, general rules, right here. You see that? General rules. There's a thing that I want to highlight. Now, when you do Science Olympiad, competition is at like a really high level. Everybody's super excited. You're on edge. You're upset if you didn't get the thing right or whatever. But let me read this one thing from the rules. I think you might overlook it because you got all these other rules on specific events. But there's one thing that I want to highlight here. It says, okay, general rules. The goal of competition is to give one's best effort while displaying honesty, integrity, and good sportsmanship. What does that mean? What does it mean to have honesty, integrity, and good sportsmanship? My team did not go on to win the state competition. We won several individual events, but we didn't go win state. And the reason we didn't win state is because I didn't win at some stuff and some of my teammates didn't win at some stuff, but it changed my life. Even though we didn't win, I do what I do today because of things I learned in Science Olympiad. So let me read this again. The goal of competition is to give one's best effort while displaying honesty, integrity, and good sportsmanship. Yeah, you will probably remember if you win or lose today's competitions. But what you will remember even more is how your teammates interact with you. Do they do things to the best of their ability? Are they really fun to interact with? If somebody else's ruler breaks, like if another team's ruler breaks and you have one, let them borrow your ruler. Honesty, integrity, and good sportsmanship. It's about being good people. It's not about winning. Winning is fun and it's important, But today, in today's Science Olympiad competition there at USC, I want you to think about what does it look like to have honesty, integrity, and good sportsmanship. This stuff is going to change your life. I was looking at the competitions this year. I think there's some really cool stuff in there. I like the build events, but the ones that really rack up the points really, really quick are some of those events that you go in and you do a lab. There's a design of experiments thing in here. The design of experiments, I'm working on my PhD over there. I'm doing a design of experiments thing. So this stuff really matters, and you're going to have a great day. So my advice to you today is when you go through the competition, see what it's like to be a good teammate and give it your level best and have fun. That's it. I'm Destin. You're getting smarter every day. I'm so jealous that you are getting to compete in the Science Olympiad today. It's going to change your world. That's it. Have a good one. Bye.
And please welcome to the stage 2026 National Tournament Co-Director, Brian Lamb.
I'll be introducing all of the pledges today. So first we have Sri Sarvapalli from Tesla STEM High School in Washington State to say the Students Pledge. Sri just won a $10,000 2026 Science Olympiad Founders Scholarship.
I pledge to put forth my best effort in the Science Olympiad Tournament and to uphold the principles of honest competition. In my events, I will compete with integrity, respect, and sportsmanship towards my fellow competitors. I will display courtesy toward event supervisors and tournament personnel. My actions will exemplify the proud spirit of my school, team, and state.
Thank you, Sri. Now we will have Garland Doogie, the head coach from Castro Valley High School, to say the Coach's Pledge. Please welcome Garland to the stage.
On behalf of the coaches and assistants at this tournament, I pledge to encourage honesty and respect for tournament personnel, our fellow coaches, and other team members. We want our efforts to bring honor to our community and school.
Thank you, Garland. Now we'll have Sybil Yu, a parent from Southern California, to say the Parents' Pledge. Please welcome Sybil to the stage.
Good evening, everyone. On behalf of the parents and spectators, I pledge to be an example for our children by respecting the rules of Science Olympiad, encouraging excellence in preparation and investigation, supporting independencies in design and production of all competition devices, and respecting the decisions of event supervisors and judges. Our examples will promote the spirit of cooperation within and among all our participation team. Thank you.
That's my mom. Woo! And finally, we have Connor Todd, one of the National Event Supervisors for Solar System, to say the National Event Supervisor Pledge. Please welcome Connor to the stage.
On behalf of my fellow supervisors and tournament personnel, I pledge to run my event with fairness and respect for the participants and their coaches. Our actions will reflect the principles of the Science Olympiad program and display the pride we feel as representatives of our colleges, universities, companies, states, organizations. Good luck.
Thank you, Connor. And now I'll hand it off to John Lower, Vice President of STEM Education of Science Olympiad, for the closing remarks.
All right. Good evening, everybody. Once again, I am always cast in the role of standing between you and something you really want to do. So I will try and keep these remarks brief. Right? Real quickly, guys, congratulations again. Right? Your accomplishments this year have been fantastic. We're so excited that you could be here. Tomorrow, just as a reminder, Impound begins, right, 7 a.m. All right, so try and get some sleep. When you leave here tonight, students, you will be you have the opportunity to go to the swap meet, right? For coaches, we'd ask that the head coach stays, and once the students clear out, please have a seat in the middle section down here on the floor. I'd also ask our event supervisors in attendance to please have a seat in the section, I guess, to my right. And on that note, I wish you guys all the best. Have a great day tomorrow. Have fun. Remember to enjoy it. Remember to take in the moment. And I will see you back here tomorrow night for the results.